This is Geoguessr Simplified, a series where I'm going to break down popular Geoguessr metas every Friday and show how they're applied in-game. For this episode, I'll be breaking down Japanese pole plate metas and showing how you can use Japanese pole plates to get very good scores very easily in Japan without much effort. Every Friday, I'll be posting a video on a different topic, so if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Also, it's coming out on Friday at about 10 a.m. And I'll actually be live on Twitch on Saturday at around 10 a.m., about 24 hours after it's released. So do consider following me over there if you want to see that. If not, whatever. Overall, it should be like a very simple intro in the Japanese pole plate. So if it's not a familiar subject for you, this is a good place to start. So I learned Japanese pole plates through the doc by Shinra FM. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but so shout out to him. I will link these documents in the description because it's probably the best way to learn. I learned from these documents and then applied them in game. You have to practice in game if you want to remember them. So before I get started, it's very important that you know the regions of Japan. Here's a quick map. If you don't know them, it will be linked in the description, but I will be referring to them as they're called on this map here. And I'm going to be going from top to bottom. So starting with Hokkaido, ending with Kyushu. I don't think I'll talk much about Okinawa here. Also, at the end of this video, I'll be showing you in game how helpful these actually are. So stay tuned to the end for that. Also, before we get started, it's important to know that there is an NTT plate, which is the national plate nationally with this little logo in the corner, which is not usually exclusive to the prefecture. And then there's a regional plate. So most pole plates in Japan have two plates, and you can distinguish both of them. So getting started here in Hokkaido. Hokkaido is actually really distinct because the top plate is usually on top. I think it can be on bottom. Is actually taller than the NTT plate. So the regional plate is taller than the NTT plate. So it's actually really recognizable from far away because it's the only plate where I think it's bigger than the other one generally. Additionally, up close, it's super recognizable because of this number pattern. It's probably hard to see, but there's two small numbers followed by a series of four larger numbers. So if you're up close, that will confirm it. However, you usually just tell from the size. Additionally, Hokkaido's landscape is usually distinct, and if you are confused with another region of Japan, it's usually northern up here near Sendai, Tohoku, and Tohoku's plates are different. So if you're in a 50-50 from far away and you see two vertical plates, you know to go Hokkaido. So moving on to Tohoku, which is this northern region. Tohoku is really distinct because it has a horizontal plate, which can usually be recognized from far away. It is really only one of two prefectures one of two regions where you generally get a horizontal plate. You have the vertical NTT plate that is common in almost every area, but you get this silver, it's usually silver, horizontal plate that can be silver and usually has large numbers on it, sometimes multiple. So for example, over here, just zoom in slightly, you can see this plate's horizontal. Actually move, sorry about that, wait. We move in here, we're at horizontal. It's usually a good sign for Tohoku, however it's pronounced. And that paired with these like northern style roofs is a good giveaway. So moving on to Hokuriku. Hokuriku is one of the only other places where you really see horizontal plates, except for here, both the NTT plate and the regional plate will be horizontal. So if you see both plates being horizontal, it will almost always be this region. I'm not sure how it works, but I know you get some horizontal plates also in Niigata here. Maybe the NTT plate's also horizontal in Niigata, but you get the Tohoku plate. I'm not too sure. But consider this basically if you see horizontal plates, consider this entire area. I should point out that the rest of the region south here all have two vertical plates. So if you see horizontal plates, you're usually in one of these two. Nagano also might have a horizontal plate, and I think that's about it. I mean, this isn't supposed to be really in-depth, so just a general region. So next we're getting to Tokyo. The majority of Tokyo area is the larger city of Tokyo, which is very flat and very urban. So if you're in a flat and urban city, you can check the plates here. And if it's silver, and two vertical ones and silver, it's a good spot for Tokyo, the greater area. It's actually very helpful because, I mean, it could be another city in Japan, but if you're in a big city, check the plates, and if it is silver, go Tokyo area. I should say, like Tochigi and places like that are mountainous and not urban. So silver plate, though, that's vertical, usually go this area. Next, we have Chubu, which is the region near Nagoya and the surrounding mountains. So this one's pretty distinct because it's the only one that's not rectangular. Here we have some rounded edges on the regional plate, and then we have the NTT plate with the logo up here. And it's actually distinguishable from far away. Additionally, it can also be yellow quite often. But like even from here, I don't know if you can tell from your screen, but from my screen, I can easily tell it's rounded. So very, very helpful in that regard. Additionally, Nagoya has a great flat area, so you can usually tell they're in a flat area With these plates, you usually guess the Greater Nagoya area, and if you're in the mountains, you can guess somewhere nearby. So I'm actually editing this video. I realized I forgot to include Kansai plates, so I'm going to add this in here. But it's funny that I forgot to add them because they're probably the hardest to recognize and the most indistinguishable, because a lot of times they don't even have logos on them, and they're just two vertical ones. So most of the time you want to use other clues for the Kansai region, which I'll show you where that is. Kansai is the area near Osaka and Kyoto, but realistically you're not using plates much. You're usually using other clues. So yeah, it's another set of two vertical plates. So if you see two vertical plates with no logo, definitely consider Kansai, which includes Kyoto and Osaka metropolitan areas. The last three are probably the three hardest to distinguish from far away. Shikoku, Chugoku, and Kyushu. They're all white and vertical plates, two sets. So usually you rely on other clues to distinguish these, unless you are right next to it where you can read it. Because they do have different formatting and different logos, but overall not the easiest to tell from far away in a no moving game. So we'll start with Chugoku here. I mean, this arrow, easier to tell that's exclusive to Chugoku, so if you see that, don't even look at the plates, but since this is the plate video, we'll look at them. It's hard to read, but it says energia or something in the top of this plate here, which is interesting because it's in English or Latin script. So if you see that on top with the NTT plate below it, you know you're in Chugoku. That's probably the easiest way. Also, you often get plates with very large numbers on them. Here's not an instance of that, but that is another way to tell it's an energia plate, or however it's pronounced. So here's the one with bigger letters and stuff on it. That's also pretty common, these big plates. So overall, though, you usually want to use other clues for Chugoku, like pole tops and such. Next is Shikoku, the island over here. Shikoku also has two vertical plates. I think the best way to recognize is just learn the logo on the top. It's this like weird, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's that logo on top. It's on all the plates with the NTT plate above it or below it. Two main plates here. I'm not sure what the horizontal ones are, but this logo is definitely how I recognize it from far away. Probably the hardest one to get realistically. You have to probably be real close to it to recognize it. Lastly, we have Kyushu, which is two vertical plates, but up close is recognizable because it has this right column of numbers, which is other ones have them more in the middle. But the right side of the Kyushu plate has a series of vertical numbers. So that makes it really distinguishable from the other vertical ones when you can read it up close. Otherwise, from far away, it's kind of hard to tell. So even here, you can tell that there's a line on the right. So that's how you tell Kyushu. The last plate would be Okinawa, but honestly, I'm not even going to show it because realistically, you shouldn't be using plates against Okinawa. It should be distinguishable by landscape or architecture. So I'm going to leave that one there. If you really want to see, you can look at the document or just look for yourself on Street View. So now I'm going to get in a couple games to show how plates are used and literally just use plates for the most part. So here's a new moving game. Off the bat here, I can barely tell there's a right column here, so I already know we're in Kyushu, based off the top plate, and that one looks like NTT plate. And you know, very southern roofs with these ornamental styles, so I do buy Kyushu. And then we have Kyushu guy wire over there if anyone has any doubt. So all points to Kyushu. I'm not going to try to region guess here, but yep, this was up in Oita, the very northern part of Oita. So round 2 here. You can tell just from far away how much bigger the second plate is, so it should be Hokkaido. And architecture seems northern, so I do buy Hokkaido here. So yeah, let's give Hokkaido a go. It's big city. Let's click Sapporo. So just from the plate alone, you can, and the fact that it's a big city, you just got 2 miles away, can be quite helpful. Here we have the two horizontal plates, which is this area, Niigata, Toyama, Ishikawa, and what is this? This is also Ishikawa. I'm inclined to go Niigata. I don't actually know though. It should be one of those. Oh, and Fukui as well has those. So this entire region. But yeah, couldn't have made a worse guess knowing the plates, but we do get generally in the right area. Here we have two vertical plates, and then you can see the right column again, knowing that's Kyushu. So that is 4 rounds where we've known the region just from the plates, which actually is pretty unusual. I've gotten pretty lucky here on my first seed. Thankfully, so I didn't have to re-record this because I probably wanted to at least show a couple rounds where you could use them. So yeah, Kyushu with this column on the right of numbers. So flat area, you could try to line them up. I'm not going to right now. And it was out east in Miyazaki. Round 5 here. I mean, I thought Hokkaido first thought, but I could check the plates if I can see one. I think that's a Tohoku silver horizontal plate there, but I'm not sure. I think that fits better than Hokkaido anyways. We have these like northern style roofs, but it doesn't really feel like Hokkaido. I think it should be up here, but the plate here is not really confirming. It kind of helps, I think, but I'm not 100% sure because it's hard to tell. Yeah, and that's technically Tohoku, so we were in the right area. So yeah, that was 17k no moving, literally just from the plates. Like I literally just clicked middle on Kyushu, the city, made a bad Niigata guess and a bad Tohoku guess. You got 17k no moving, so that's pretty helpful. I'll play one more here, just see if we can beat that, but probably not. See here we can already see we have the rounded edges, so we know we're in Chubu. Yeah, so somewhere near Nagoya, probably, considering it's an urban area, but it might not be, honestly. Yeah, it was all the way west in Mie, I don't know how it's pronounced. That's like the western border, I believe, of that plate. Okay, we have something here. See, that should just be an NTT plate, I think. Is that an NTT plate or is that an Energia plate? I'm not sure. I mean, we only have one here, so usually you probably need two to really differentiate without the logos, unless you like really memorize them. So, I mean, I think that's Tokyo pole top, but I think this is, I don't know what this is, honestly. I'm going to hope that's Energia plate and just guess over here. And it was actually the Tokyo area, so tough. Here is the Tokyo plate that we were missing last time, and there's the NTT logo on top, so we know we're in Tokyo again this time, or at least the greater area. So yeah, let's just guess in here somewhere, and it was a little more inland. Another horizontal plate here. That's an interesting wire for horizontal plate. Guy wire. So, yeah, I mean, when you see horizontal plates, you usually want to think Tohoku. God, I can't pronounce it. But why do we have that? I don't think that guy wire is up there, but oh well. Just trusting going just off the plate, I guess up here, like Akita or something. I don't know. It could be also one of the horizontal plates in this area, I suppose. I'm not sure on that, but yeah, let's guess up here. Yeah, it was the other horizontal plates in this area, so I could tell it was that greater area just from that, but we do make a pretty poor guess. And lastly here, I'm not seeing, we have one horizontal plate there, or vertical plate there. I'm not really seeing that's helpful. I mean, that's a Nagano wire, so we should be here, but let's see if I can actually find the plate. Yeah, so the plates shouldn't be helpful here. We also have pole tops. Should be that area, but yeah, I don't actually know. The plates aren't here, what's helping, so. Or we got around, ooh, is that a horizontal plate, actually? That might be the edge of a horizontal plate. If that's horizontal, I want to go Nagano. Just, it's kind of an advanced tip, but I don't actually know. Yeah, so Nagano does have one horizontal as well, and a Chubu plate. It's the only prefecture that has that. So you can often get good guesses by that. But also, it's in the available countries. A lot of times you can see the Nagano plates, and your opponent will not even know them, but guess Nagano just from hedging the entire country. So it is what it is. So I don't know, was that 8 or 9 rounds with the plates used there? Pretty good. Next week, I'm probably going to do Canadian pole tops. That's my guess. Easy one to bang out. If you're interested in that, consider subscribing. And I'll be live on Twitch tomorrow.